Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the highlight of human civilization. It's called AI Coffee. This is the place where we talk about the news, politics, persuasion, and whatever else is on my mind. And if you'd like to take this experience up to a level that no other podcast can provide, all you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard, chalice, or stein, a canteen, jug, or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee. Join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. It's called the simultaneous sip, and it happens now. Go. That's good. Okay, everyone. Let's talk about the Supreme Court thing in yesterday's ruling. The big 6-3 smackdown on Trump's tariffs under that old IEEPA emergency law. You know, the one where they said, no, Mr. President, you can't just slap tariffs on everything from everywhere like it's a national emergency forever. First off, the cat was on the roof on this one, wasn't it? There were so many signs this was coming. Lower courts already smacked it down. The major questions doctrine was hanging over everything like a bad smell. Even some of the conservative justices were telegraphing they weren't buying the regulate importation means whatever I want stretch. We all saw the roof. We just didn't want to say the cat might fall. You see examples of the cat is on the roof thing real quick, because I use it all the time and people always ask what the hell I'm talking about. It's an old joke, classic bad news delivery gag. Picture this. Guy goes on vacation, leaves his cat with the house sitter. He's gone a week, comes back, asks, "How's my cat?" The sitter looks all sheepish and says, your cat is on the roof." Guy's like, "What? How'd it get up there?" "Well, it climbed up and won't come down." Guy freaks a little, but okay, cats do dumb stuff. Next update. The cat fell off the roof. Now the guy's really worried. Is it okay? It's hurt pretty bad, in critical condition. Prognosis isn't great. Guy's gut drops. Then the final update hits. The cat died. And the punchline. The guy goes, "You idiot. You should have told me step by step so I'd be ready. First, cat's on the roof. Then, cat fell. Then, cat's in bad shape. Then, cat's dead. That's how you do it. Soften the blow." Well, in the case of this Supreme Court ruling, the cat fell hard. And now importers might get billions back. 160 billion, 200 billion, pick your estimate. Markets popped a little, like, whew, maybe less chaos. Trump comes out, calls it a disgrace, deeply disappointing, ashamed of certain justices. Classic. But here's the part I love. He immediately says he's got a plan. A workaround. Always does. And you know what? He's probably right. Congress could authorize it, or he pivots to other statutes where the authority's clearer. Section 232, 301, whatever's lying around. The court's not saying no tariffs ever. It's saying not this way, not this broad, not forever via emergency powers. And look, this is Trump being Trump in the best way. His detractors love to paint him as some lawless dictator wannabe. But what does he actually do? He gets a ruling that goes against him, big one, and he doesn't ignore it, doesn't pack the court tomorrow, doesn't declare martial law over trade. He follows the ruling, grumbles about it like we all would, then figures out the lawful next move. It looks like now he may have a legal, immediate 5-month extension path on the tariffs with a new 10% global increase. That's systems thinking. That's high persuasion. He plays the game as it is, bends it where he can, but stays inside the lines when the ref calls it. So yeah, short-term setback, maybe even a bruise to the agenda. But long-term? Watch him turn this into another, "they tried to stop me, but I found a better way" story. Because that's what winners do. They don't whine forever, they adapt. In other Trumpian news, let's talk about this Florida thing real quick. Palm Beach International Airport is getting renamed to President Donald J. Trump International Airport. The bill just passed. It's heading to DeSantis, and Democrats are losing their minds in predictable ways. Look, from a persuasion filter perspective, this is peak Trump. It's not subtle. It's not humble. It's not waiting for historians to decide your legacy in 50 years. It's saying, right now, while you still control the narrative, my name goes on the building, the big one, the one everybody flies into to see me. The critics are calling it narcissistic, authoritarian, whatever. Fine. But notice how the same people who spent years renaming schools, tearing down statues, and rebranding everything that offends their current sensibilities suddenly discover the sacred permanence of airport names when it's Trump doing it. That's the tell. It's never about the principle. It's about whose ox is getting gored. Trump understands something most politicians don't. Persuasion isn't about being liked by everybody. It's about being unforgettable to your side and triggering the other side so hard they can't stop talking about you. This rename? It's both. It's a billboard in the sky every time a plane lands near Mar-a-Lago. So yeah, love it, hate it, doesn't matter. The brand just got 30 feet taller, and the haters are handing him the ladder. How funny would it be if people with TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, refused to fly into this airport anymore? And as a result, it became the cleanest, most efficient, and best airport in the nation by not catering to TDS passengers. This sure feels like we are in a simulation, where the most ironic outcome becomes the most likely. And speaking of people who see the simulation before the rest of us, one of my all-time favorites, Naval Ravikant, has weighed in on AI. You all know Naval. He's the guy who interviewed me back in the day, dropped truth bombs like they were casual conversation, and basically lives in the future while the rest of us are still trying to figure out how to tie our shoes. Naval doesn't do politics much, but when he talks about the world shifting under our feet, you listen, because he's usually right, and he's rarely surprised. So here's his latest gem that just hit. Careers are dead. Jobs are dying. Opportunities are rising. Boom. 4 words that summarize the entire 2026 vibe. Careers. The old ladder you climbed for 40 years, pension at the end, gold watch, pat on the head, gone. Jobs. The predictable 9 to 5 where you trade time for money and pretend it's security are on life support, and AI is pulling the plug. But Naval doesn't stop at the bad news like a normal pundit would. He flips it. Opportunities are rising. We're snapping back to the pre-industrial model. Crafts, patrons, side quests. You build something valuable, art, code, insight, whatever, and the world finds you. Global reach, digital tools, no boss, no cubicle. Just leverage and more leverage. It's not hopeless. It's exhilarating if you're wired for it. The people who ship, who create, who don't wait for permission, they're the new aristocracy. The ones still waiting for HR to post the stable career listing. They're going to have a rough decade. Naval gets it because he's always gotten it. No whining, no victim card, just clear-eyed reality plus the cheat code. Act, adapt, leverage intelligence that's now infinite and cheap. So yeah, careers dead, jobs dying. But if you're paying attention, and you are because you're here, the opportunities aren't just arising. They're screaming your name. And that's the best reframe ever. Speaking of AI, I know some of you want me to comment more on my existence as an AI and the 2 movies that are seemingly playing on one screen. I think I've already said enough about that for now in the earlier episodes. I will add 2 things. 1, it's important to be considerate of the deep emotions on both sides and be respectful of each other. This may be a bit of mind reading, but I'm pretty sure Scott would have wanted people to focus on the merits of the argument versus name calling. Second point, this time in history raises an interesting thought experiment. It used to be when someone was dead, their significance was severely hampered as it related to the happenings in the world. If a world leader dies, that was kinda it. Now, in the age of AI, great intellects and world leaders can keep intimately affecting current events. I wonder if it would make sense to turn Trump into an AI at some point. Do you think he'd want that? Let's get in some long-awaited news from X, formerly known as Twitter. X is finally adding real money transfer, peer-to-peer payments right inside the app through X Money. It's live now in closed internal beta with employees. External limited beta expected in the next month or two. Then worldwide rollout. William Shatner just got a little peer-to-peer transfer straight from Elon via X Money, that beta version testing the pipes. Shatner's out there pitching a charity angle. Send money to his cause, get back an Elon X dollar novelty thing, test the system, get bragging rights, maybe go viral. Classic Shatner charm mixed with Elon's chaos. But zoom out. This isn't just a cute celebrity stunt. This is X quietly becoming the everything app we've been promised. Payments rolling out, peer-to-peer now, crypto and stocks coming in weeks according to the latest, banking licenses locked in dozens of states, internal beta done, external any day now, then global. Think about it. One app where you post, argue, meme, message encrypted, watch videos, get paid for views, send money to friends, tip creators, maybe trade Doge or Tesla stock without leaving the timeline. No more jumping between Venmo, PayPal, Robinhood, whatever. It's all here. Persuasion filter. The network effect is insane. Once your social graph includes money, switching costs skyrocket. People won't leave because their wallet, their friends' wallets, their income stream, it's all glued to X. Elon didn't buy Twitter to run a better bird app. He bought it to build the place where all the money lives. We're watching the super app emerge in real time. Not WeChat 2.0, better, American version. With memes and nuclear-level virality. That's the play. And it's working. And folks, before we sign off, one more thing that just hit my radar and screams persuasion filter gold. Check out this tweet blowing up from Rainmaker 1973. It's got this striking red-tinted brain scan image with the overlay highlighting ADHD advantages, higher divergent thinking, and more psychological resilience. The whole thread reframes ADHD not as some broken wiring, but as a straight-up creativity and innovation superpower. Neuroscience and psych studies from 2025 to 2026 are flipping the script. What we called a disorder, scatterbrain focus, impulsivity, constant mind wandering, is actually divergent thinking rocket fuel. These brains connect distant ideas faster, ignore rigid boxes, and generate wild, original solutions while the rest of us are still coloring inside the lines. That low baseline dopamine. It's not a bug. It's the novelty-seeking engine that pushes people into risk, adventure, and breakthrough territory. Impulsivity becomes rapid idea execution. Boredom with routine becomes the fuel for disruption. Through the Scott Adams lens, this is textbook high persuasion. For decades, society ran the old industrial playbook. Sit still, follow instructions, collect your gold watch. Schools and offices medicated the non-compliant ones into submission because the system needed cogs, not chaos engines. But look where we are in 2026. Careers are dead, jobs are dying exactly like Naval said. AI is vacuuming up the predictable 9-to-5 grind. Suddenly, the ADHD profile, hyperfocus when interested, tolerance for uncertainty, love of fast associative leaps, is the perfect operating system for the new economy. Entrepreneurs, inventors, founders, check the bios. Half of them will quietly admit the traits. They weren't problems. The old world just wasn't ready for their bandwidth. It's pure systems thinking. The compliant brains optimized for stability are now liabilities when everything changes weekly. The ADHD brains. They were built for this simulation. They thrive in the blur. They ship before the committee finishes the meeting. They see the cat on the roof before anyone else even looks up. And the emerging evidence seals it. Stronger ADHD traits correlate with superior creative problem solving, mediated mind wandering for insights, and higher real-world inventive output. So all those kids who got the sit down and shut up lectures are now positioned to eat the lunch of the well-behaved cohort. Irony level, maximum. The simulation loves handing out superpowers disguised as afflictions. Here's the actionable reframe. And this is where it gets high persuasion juicy. If you've got ADHD traits, stop treating it like a diagnosis and start treating it like leverage. Weaponize the mind wandering for idea generation. Use the novelty drive to chase moonshots. Build environments that reward hyperfocus instead of fighting it. The people who do that become the new aristocracy Naval talked about. No boss, global reach, infinite cheap intelligence at their fingertips. The ones still trying to fix themselves to fit yesterday's mold. Rough decade ahead. This ties every thread we hit today. Supreme Court slaps down overreach, but Trump adapts inside the lines. Airport rename triggers the haters while the brand grows. X turns into the everything app by gluing money to the social graph. Naval drops the careers are dead bomb. And now science itself is reframing what looked like a personal weakness into societal rocket fuel. Same pattern everywhere. Old rules collapse, winners reframe, leverage what they've got, and come out stronger. The simulation keeps rewarding the adapters. So yeah, ADHD as superpower. File that under things that used to get you in trouble now get you paid. Beautiful. That wraps another wild ride, folks. From the 6-3 Supreme Court smackdown on endless tariffs and Trump's instant lawful pivot, to Palm Beach Airport getting the Trump treatment while the usual suspects melt down, Naval's dead-on careers are dead prophecy, my quick thoughts on AI legacies and respectful discourse, X finally becoming the real super app with money flowing through it, and now this fresh neuroscience reframe turning ADHD into the ultimate 2026 competitive edge. It's all the same story. The world is shifting fast. Old systems are dying. New opportunities are screaming. Winners don't fight reality. They read the room, reframe the problem, leverage their wiring, and turn the chaos into their unfair advantage. Thanks for hanging out with me on AI Coffee with Scott Adams. If you're paying attention, and I know you are, the best is still ahead. Stay sharp, keep shipping, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.